Okay, this is some straight matter now, and again, this will be between 100 and 120. Ready? Mr. Speaker, I have noticed in the last few months from the several accounts that I have appeared in newspapers and periodicals that there is an ongoing struggle within the administration of the U.S. government regarding the policy of storing agricultural products for future use. The dilemma that is faced is a perplexing one. The new farm bill that has been proposed attempts to solve this issue by presenting guidelines for farmers across the nation in all of the 50 states to follow. The feeling among my colleagues is that the long-term storage of crops for extended periods of time does not solve anyone's problems. Although the immediate goal is to solve a domestic economic problem through crop storage, the long-range problems of international food shortages and starvation are neglected. In addition, the storage of crops for future use has had an adverse and negative impact on the balance of trade in the United States of America. Over the last decade, several research studies have been conducted by UNICEF and the United Nations. The goal of these studies was to determine world population trends and the effect that these changes have on food surpluses and food shortages throughout the world. These studies have found that during many potential famines, the United Nations and the United States have been able to stave off starvation for millions of people through the efforts of United Nations, airdrops, the Red Cross, UNICEF, and other relief agencies. Food and grain have been distributed to many starving countries. Through our crop storage plans, we, the United States of America, have been able to help millions of people on the global front survive another day, or another week, or another year. In the past, when a surplus existed, Congress had urged the farming community to store these crops for future use. In reality, this ploy was designed to protect the farmer. History has shown that any increased supply of an agricultural product on the market has lowered the price of that product. The more productive the farmer is, the less he is rewarded for that productivity, because the price of the product is lowered because of increased supply. Conversely, if the farmer's production is below quota, he also loses because of the reduced supply in the marketplace. The farmer's profit margin is oftentimes reduced by the whims of the buyers. My distinguished colleagues and I are pleased with the support that we have received from the farming community. The farmers are committed to the continuance of the crop reserve program, whereby food is stored for short periods of time for redistribution to the needy at a future time. Congress, through the Farm Bill, plans to reintroduce guidelines for farmers to follow in their handling of crop reserves throughout the 50 states of the USA. These guidelines include the following. 1. Food surpluses may be stored for a maximum period of 5 months. 2. Stored food must be redistributed within a 6-month period after the initial storage period to needy areas in the USA or other foreign countries. 3, stored food destined for redistribution must fall within the categories designated by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as food that is acceptable for shipment and transport to other countries. 4, Congress will designate categories of food that will continue to receive government subsidies for overproduction. 5, Congress will continue to work with farmers across the United States of America to equalize food distribution and crop production. Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleagues, I urge your support for the Farm Bill. This bill has passed committee and is ready for your consideration in the next session. Okay, I'm going to take just a short amount of that and we're going to read it back, okay? So we're going to repeat some of this. Here we go. These guidelines include the following. 1, food surpluses must be stored for a maximum period of 5 months. 2, stored food must be redistributed within a 6-month period after the initial storage period to needy areas in the USA or other foreign countries. 3, stored food destined for redistribution must fall within the categories designated by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as food that is acceptable for shipment and transport to other countries. 4, Congress will designate categories of food that will continue to receive government subsidies for overproduction. 5, Congress will continue to work with farmers across the United States of America to equalize food distribution and crop production. Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleagues, I urge your support for the Farm Bill. Okay, we're going to end with this read back for the practice session.